day, everyone! In tonight's historical special, we revisit one of the most debated events in Philippine history, the alleged retraction of Dr. Jose Rizal before his execution in 1896. Did our national hero truly renounce his anti-clerical beliefs and return to Catholic faith? Or was the so-called retraction simply fabricated? To help us understand this better, we have 4 reporters on the ground covering different angles of this story. Let's start with reporter 1, who takes us back to that fateful night.
Thank you. Here's what happened. On December 30, 1896, Jose Rizal was executed by firing squad at Bagumbayan after being accused of rebellion and sedition. But hours before his death, Jesuit priests visited him in Fort Santiago, encouraging him to return to the Catholic faith. According to their accounts, Rizal eventually signed a retraction document at dawn. This document stated that he was retracting his anti-Catholic writings, renouncing Freemasonry and affirming his Catholic faith. It was also reported that he married Josephine Bracken in Articulo Mortis. The text of retraction was published soon after his death, but not everyone believed it.
Thank you, Reporter 1, for that historical background. But this story doesn't end there. The so-called retraction has been at the center of one of the most intense historical debates in the country. For more on the controversy, we now go to Reporter 2.
That is right. The Rizal retraction has two conflicting interpretations. On one side, supporters of the retraction argue that Rizal sincerely sought spiritual reconciliation before his execution. Jesuits like Father Vicente Balaguer swore that personally witnessed the signing. On the other side, skeptics argue that the document was either forged or coerced. They point out that the original manuscript was lost for decades and only rediscovered in 1935, which may find suspicious. Handwriting experts like Ricardo Pascual claim that the signature didn't match Rizal's. And perhaps most telling, Rizal's farewell poem, Mi Ultimo Adios, does not mention a religious retraction, something that would have been significant if it were true. This clash of interpretation continues to spark debate among historians, scholars, and ordinary peoples alike.
Thank you, Reporter 2. Now, let's find out who exactly were involved in this controversy. The people and groups who played key roles during and after Rizal's final hours. Reporter 3 has the details.
Let's take a closer look at the people involved in this historical debate. First, of course, is Jose Rizal himself, the man at the center of the controversy. Then we have the GC priests, such as Father Vicente Balaguer and Father Jose Villaclara, who claimed to have witnessed Rizal's retraction and confession. The Spanish colonial authorities also played a role by allowing the church to minister to Rizal before his death. Decades later, historians and scholars entered the discussion, with some, like Father Horacio de la Costa, defending the document's authenticity, while others, like Ricardo Pascual, argued it was a forgery. Rizal's family and his supporters also voiced mixed reactions, with some accepting the church's claims and others rejecting them.
Thank you, Reporter 3. Clearly, this was not just a personal decision, but a national issue involving church, state, and scholars. So why does this century-old debate still matter to us today? For that, we return to Reporter 4.
Why does this matter today? Because the question of Rizal's retraction affects how we see him as a national hero. If true, the retraction shows Rizal as a man who reconciled his faith and ideals before his death, a symbol of both reason and religion. If false, it reveals how history can be shaped to favor powerful institutions, in this case the church, which wanted to protect its image during the revolution. Ultimately, the controversy reminds us to critically examine history, search for evidence, and think beyond one-sided narratives. Rizal's courage and sacrifice remain an inspiration whether or not he retracted.
Thank you, reporters. Whether Rizal retracted or not may remain a mystery forever. But one thing is certain, his love for the country and his willingness to die for freedom united a nation and inspired generations. Reporting for Group 4, this is Chia from Milan, signing off.